What's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode 21. Now that we have taken out Laxasia, we're really just on a straight push for the final boss of the game, working to get you guys your endings. So with that being said, this is really going to be your last chance to knock everything out that does have to get done. So if you go through your chapters, you see quite a bit going on here. This is just the DLC. You don't have to concern yourself with that. This will always be on the map once you reach chapter 9, right? So instead, we're going to jump over to Rosa Isabella Street entrance. Now, there's a few quests we're about to cover that I've actually missed my first playthrough. Some even my first two, embarrassingly enough. It's just, when you get to the Ark Abbey, like when we met the test subject 826, that's who we're going to meet right now. Right down there's Arlecchino, and you're finishing up that quest, and you have the elevator, then you have Black Cat, and because of that shortcut there that brings you to 826, I never even opened that shortcut like to my third playthrough, right? So yeah, it's in your face, and like I say, it's pretty dumb for it, but there's a lot going on in that area. So yeah, it's a linear game, but it's so easy to miss so much shit in this game at times, I will say. It really is. Alright guys, so as we go straight back, we're just heading for that, that shortcut we had picked up. Might as well have a little fun on the way, right? Now, test subject 826, the main thing here is he has something you're going to need for trophies, but he also just has really good stuff. So over here on the right, that brings you towards the end. However, if you were to go straight up these stairs and make a right, that's going to be the bridge that's kind of overlooking everything. So you're pretty much backtracking at this point. However, this will be subject 826's next location. So he's just going to kind of talk about a singer here, and he wanted to come back and visit this place that he loved, blah, blah, blah. But he's also a merchant. So first things first, obviously, you just go through all this dialogue. You have one to take in the story here. Right, we're getting at the end of the game. We have a lot to cover.
I survived. It's probably still.
Alright, so once you go through all this dialogue, we're going to talk to him again. Now, before I started this episode, I did check, and we should have just enough to cover everything we want. Do not sell Sad Zealots. It's very important, but everything else is good. So right over here, this is a weapon you need for your platinum. All regular weapons, all special weapons. And that's what makes the platinum difficult, because if you're not buying every little thing from every single merchant, you are going to miss trophies. I also told you that certain records will only show up in New Game Plus. So this same guy, this same time and location, you need to come here, New Game Plus, and there's going to be a gold record here. So I'm calling this out now just so you guys know. We're going to pick everything up. That defensive part is also very nice. So like I said, we had just enough to get everything done. I mean, I have 5,000. We know what I mean. 5,000 isn't so much anymore. Now going through, we're going to make sure we are very well set up for the end of the game. That's your new part. It's got a little bit less in some aspects. Like this. We're way less than everything here. So maybe it wasn't the best one. I thought it was. No. They're red. I'm so sorry. Yeah, it is better than everything else. But they're this one. So more shock, more break, right? That's another one that you had to actually buy. So if you didn't, get the merchant to get that, you wouldn't have that anyways, right? But as you notice that we are only, what does this have less of? It has less physical damage by 1 point. Then it's 127 less in disruption. So the fact of the matter is do you care more about physical damage and disruption, or do you care more about your shock and break? Because that has, like I said, that has more shock and break, but this has more physical. That's what most your damage is, right? So we want to boost physical damage reduction rate, and disruption, of course, that's gonna be really good. Shock and break are stats effects. Not everybody uses them at the end of the day. Aside from that, yeah, that's much better when I forgot to put it. I was wondering why we're taking so much damage at the end game. Yeah, we're good to go. So the big thing is, guys, just make sure you have all your stuff, right? Just make sure you have all your stuff. Now from here, I'm just curious. We have the 5 upgrades. We're just gonna jump out. Sometimes I will say going through defensive parts is a little confusing, because you got to realize what causes the most damage, because nothing's like just better than everything with every single stat. No, it's going to excel in some things and be behind in other things. So you have to decide what's best overall, right? And that's kind of what threw me off with that breakdown, because I'm like, what do I care more about? And the fact of the matter is physical damage reduction is always going to come first. You're really only trying to swap things out, depending on which status effects you're on, but your converter does most of that, right? However, as you've seen, with that piece, we did have some disruption and break and shock. So, like I said, it's up to you guys. Now, as soon as we get here, we're going to be jumping right back on out. We have your little puppet in the swamp. We have learned a new gesture. So, this completes his quest line for the base game, right? This completes his quest for the base game. Now, when you get to the DLC, you can actually still bring him gestures and you get even better rewards. So talking to him here completes his quest. You get a quartz for doing so, but he also gives you a Dark Moon Moonstone of the Covenant, which is nice. Because I think the first time we got like some resistance ampule, then we got Ergo, which was fine, and now we get the good stuff. So, teach about happiness.
Good. Like being hugged by the sun. It is a brilliant feeling.
Alright, Dark Moon Moonstone of the Covenant. Now, if you don't talk to him again, you won't complete the quest. So, I've learned something about humans.
Human friends someday. You may not always be my only friend.
Always be my first friend, and there's your quartz. So if you go to your fast travel point, you are going to see that, you know, he's off the map, right? In fact, everybody's off the map. Once again, that will always be there until you visit the DLC, but everything's done. So Hotel Crop, we have a few things to button up. So we're about to go get you guys another record. So I told you guys if you gave Lady Antonia the cure and you did go through the quest that way, even though the cure hurts her too is the thing, but that's why you still have New Game Plus. However, if you go through it, give her the cure, you get the record. Like I said, there's no happy ending for her, though. Unfortunately, it's just, you know, it is what it is. And like I said, Platinum takes 2 playthroughs if you can back up your save. If not, takes 3 just for one ending. However, you're just going to, you know, for the walkthrough, we did everything the most rewarding way. And then on New Game Plus, we just make opposite decisions to everything. And we'll get the rest of our records and everything else. I mean, as long as you find all the records you can buy from merchants. But you know, we'll cover that, too. There you go. There's the Chariot Scented Letter. So if you guys want to check that out, just a little bit of lore. But more importantly, you know, we got another record off the list. Now, we do have 4 quartz at this point. And it kind of sucks because I didn't get as far as I thought we would. However, we're pretty good. So we have exactly 4. I can go over here and get another Legion Arm slot where we could have 2 Legion Arms at once, but we don't even have the capacity for that. But I'd at least like to go ahead and get this skill because it's really, really dope. Really dope. So increased stagger duration, that helps a lot during boss fights. But with that, now when we deflect, enemies will actually stagger back for the most part. And then we still have 3 left. So I'm going to start working towards that Legion Arm at this point. Nothing to really care about. Yeah, we gotta take care of our build maintenance, guys. I'm trying to quickly run through it, but these are the last choices we're gonna be making, so let's make them count. Auto charge pulse cell. We're definitely getting that one. I've wanted that for a while. I've been putting it off. So when you're out of pulse cells, you have to attack or kill enemies to refill your heal. That does it automatically. So obviously it's gonna be really good. Perfect Guard, Fable, Charge, Enhanced 2. So I just have you a Perfect Guard. It gives you a lot. Damn. Increased weapon durability, recovery speed. I gotta get that. We'll have other choices. Like I said, we still have our New Game Plus run, guys. I do use Fable Catalyst a lot in the DLC. We're going to do a respec later anyways of the whole skill. Because like I said, once you get to phase 5, when you go all the way back to the start, you'll have all of your tiers. And you just get better abilities. Because early on, you didn't have many choices, right? But that is how it works, so. Really? I thought there was something better here. Maybe we already got it. Okay. It pretty much has to be this tree. Stagger from behind. So we'll probably be respecing anyways. Perfect Guard Destruction. Oh, we can't get the, that was on the Tree Warriors. Never mind. Let's go with... guess we'll do, Perfect Guard Destruction. They were 1 quartz short. We'll be able to get that by the end. Either way, we're all caught up. So I did want to briefly touch on records. They're not out of the woods just yet, because there's still more records in a single playthrough. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, we're good. Alright, guys. So now that we have all that caught up, we're going to have a cryptic vessel to knock out. And did we ever talk to her after we complete her quest?
It hurts so.
No, yeah, that's what I thought. Pretty sure, just, we're at the end, guys. Let's double check. Let's make sure. Was there anything else we wanted from him? No, we pretty much got it all. Okay, good. Looking good there. Now we have the cryptic vessel.
Welcome. Oh, how long do you think it would take me?
Ecco! On for the layman.
Apologies.
Alrighty. So, mechanical cryptic vessel description. So, what this needs us to do is to go show a certain weapon to a certain merchant. We talked about this for a long time. In fact, I thought we were supposed to do a few episodes back, and I had to check my notes. It came later. Modify. We do have it, right? Oh, yeah, and shoot a boot. That's what I said. We're trying to get stocked up for the DLC. So, we already have 2 leftover legions. We're looking good there. And that catches us up. Okay, guys. So, from where we are, we're actually going to go back to chapter 9. I'm trying to think what's the closest. It's definitely going to be Clap Street. We have shortcuts. So you can only do this quest if you have the Frozen Feast weapon. That's what I told you guys. And the other time, you definitely have a choice to make. But this one, not really. Now, if you're trying to do all the quests, you've got to have this on. You've got to. Now, it's not upgraded, but I guess we can put it on while we're going through the area. We got to have it on anyways, just to play with something different for a bit. Oops. There we are. All right. So, this is our shortcut. So we have to backtrack. There's a few ways you can get here. I'm going to try to find the quickest route. Oh, we can't go that way because we dropped down. That's right. Alright, not a big deal. This way leads there too. Just trying to avoid, the enemies if we could. But if we go over here to your left, we take that ladder to bring it up to the boss. Then we could actually just drop down onto the roof. That'll drop us right by where we need to be. Oh, just short. Come here, you fucker. God, this weapon's so fucking slow. This is why I don't like it. I tell people about it. Yeah, it's probably the best productivity weapon because it's big, beefy guy. With that in mind, though, you just get caught. So many times we're trying to lug this fucking thing around. And yeah, it does speed up with attacks. Because like I said before, you're busting off the chunks of rock on it. So it does speed up over time, but not enough for the most part. I mean, it's every weapon's usable. You just got to really watch for your windows. So right up here is going to be a new merchant.
Who are you?
Show the weapon.
On you only. Here's the item you wanted. Hope you like it.
And there you go. Red Fox Hunting Apparel. I told you we'd get that other quartz we needed. And there we are. So now that we have that, jump back to Hotel Krat. Then, of course, we do have our boss remembrance from last episode. But we had to jump back anyways, because you don't get the quartz until you talk to him. Now, I'm not worried about spinning this yet, because I don't have the weight for the second Legion armor. You guys, do what you will, do what you would like to do. However, now that we are here, the other thing we need to do is go talk to Hugo. Like I say, he does take the place of Aladoro, so you can still turn on your boss weapons. He's going to be the same location.
Hey, I've just come back. Hi, Barry. And like I said...
Alright, so you have 2 choices as always. You're either going to have this ring. Upon successful guard, weapon durability is not consumed. That's nice. That's really nice. Or you have the weapon. We do all special weapons for trophies, So there's one instance where we didn't grab the weapon. One instance only. And that was for the umbrella. Didn't go with the build. And then the ring we picked up, damage boosting ring early in the game, chapter 4. So that made the most sense. So from that, I went and got all of our weapons. So we'll, finish this up into our new game plus. Now with all that done, guys, we're at 15 minutes. So I guess we'll just do a shorter episode. And then we'll push forward after that because we're not going to be able to really progress much farther. I mean, obviously, all this stuff needs done. So in that case, I guess I will throw in my quartz. As far as, closing out quest lines, doing our build maintenance, all this stuff is very important. We're heading to the endings, And I will say, If you guys can back up your save, it's gonna make life much easier. If not, you're just gonna have to do another playthrough for another ending. That's it. But with our New Game Plus run, we will be able to knock everything else out for the most part. Like I said, you're only gonna be missing 6 trophies. One is the platinum, so you just get that when you get everything else. But you know, all special weapons you can't get until after you go to New Game Plus. All regular weapons, I'd have to check my notes. I think that comes later too. And there's just, you know, some quests that you're not going to have done because the choice has been made, so all this will be covered. Yeah, I'm going to do... Oh, wait, no, there's the other one. Oh, I already got everything locked down. Can't use it. Alright. Consumable effect. That would make your weapon buffs last longer. Yeah, we'll go with Fable Catalyst. There we go. So now you could actually go to your menu, check it, and look at that. Oh, you gotta do it at the checkpoint. But you could actually equip 2 Legion arms at once, and then you can swap to them as you want. So you can just kind of swip these up in the fight. So it's really, really, really cool. Let's show that off before we close out. But obviously we are about to close out. There we are. Both are fully upgraded. And we're only in slightly heavy, so it's not that bad. But what's really nice is if I just hit left on the D-pad, I'm switching my Legion arm. Look at that. Then right would switch your weapons. Isn't that awesome? But yeah, either way. With that, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap on up. So we're going to jump all the way back. Oh, did we not talk to Paul and Dina? I meant to do that. We talked to Lady Antonia. I thought we already talked to him. That's my bad.
It is all as for it feels as I despite her. Welcome to...
Okay, we're caught up. That's my bad. I mean, in my defense, we've done a lot. You know, we've done a lot. So, back to Ascension Bridge. Yeah, so that's going to tighten up most of the loose ends for the walkthrough, you know, for a first playthrough. Now, with saying that, there is still other things. It won't happen until next episode. Just, you know, choices and closing out the remainder of our NPC quests. You know, we got Geppetto, we have Sophia, just, you know, minor things you have to move on through. But either way, guys, with that, we are going to go ahead and wrap on up. Y'all stay tuned. We'll catch y'all back here shortly to push on forward to the final boss of the game.